Hey, everyone! There's been a lot of drama surrounding Disney's latest live-action adaptation of Snow White, and I wanted to break it all down for you. The film's lead actress, Rachel Ziegler, has found herself at the center of a major controversy, one that many believe has played a big role in the movie's underwhelming performance at the box office.
Rachel didn't even seem like she cared or liked the source material. I mean, that is just far from a graceful Disney princess-like promotion. It's far from what you would think Disney.
Before the 2024 presidential election, Rachel Ziegler made some bold political statements that ended up alienating a large portion of potential viewers. She essentially urged people to vote for Kamala Harris, calling it non-negotiable and highlighting reproductive rights as a key issue. What really sparked backlash, though, was when she told those who disagreed with her stance to just unfollow her, saying she didn't need their support.
Just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
Well, it seems a lot of moviegoers took her at her word. The film's performance has been described as catastrophic by industry insiders. Domestically, it's struggling to hit even $100 million, with global earnings hovering around $85 million. It's barely nearing the $200 million mark worldwide. That's especially alarming considering Disney reportedly spent around $300 million just on production, with marketing possibly pushing total costs close to double that. The financial disappointment is echoed in the critical response. The film's Rotten Tomatoes score has been steadily dropping, and user ratings on platforms like IMDb have been brutal, some reportedly as low as 1 out of 10. This places it among Disney's worst-reviewed films in recent memory. What's particularly interesting is how some commentators are interpreting the situation. They are drawing a direct connection between Ziegler's pre-election political statements and the film's box office failure, especially in light of Donald Trump winning the popular vote in the 2024 election.
The reason we had Rachel Ziegler on the docket is she's an asshole. So she came out and took a large dump on half of the country.
The prevailing narrative now seems to fall under the get woke, go broke umbrella, the idea that when celebrities make polarizing political statements, it can seriously affect their commercial success. And this controversy hasn't been limited to the US. Several Middle Eastern countries, including Lebanon, have reportedly banned the film altogether, adding another layer to the movie's international distribution challenges. Meanwhile, recent paparazzi photos of Rachel Ziegler have been making the rounds online, with some harsh commentary suggesting she appears disheveled or even homeless. This has fueled speculation about how the film's failure might be affecting her financially, especially since actors often have performance-based bonuses or points tied to a movie's success. When a film flops, those bonuses can disappear completely. Ziegler's performance itself has also come under fire. Various clips from the movie have gone viral, with many viewers calling her acting awkward or unconvincing. This backlash has given rise to a new internet phenomenon, AI-generated parodies of Ziegler's scenes. These videos recreate parts of the film with absurd dialogue, often impersonating other celebrities or inserting completely nonsensical conversations. One parody shows her character awkwardly explaining the rules of American football. Another has her rambling about buttered sausage in a totally incoherent way. Dozens of versions are now circulating, each one trying to outdo the last in ridiculousness. The parodies have expanded even further, now including impersonations of all kinds of pop culture references, from the viral Island Boys to iconic scenes from classic films, all delivered through Ziegler's Snow White character. One particularly viral parody features the character reenacting President Joe Biden's infamous corn pop and hairy legs stories, adding yet another layer of absurdity. What many are calling the final insult is that Rachel Ziegler has effectively become one of the internet's most recognizable memes. Her portrayal has been transformed into what some are jokingly calling one of the most ridiculous characters in cinematic history. And as AI technology advances, these parodies have only grown more sophisticated, much to the delight of online communities that keep creating and sharing them. Social media is now flooded with AI-generated clips that place Ziegler's Snow White in increasingly bizarre scenarios. In one popular version, her character awkwardly tries to order French fries at a fast food drive-thru. In another, she claims to be a 25-year-old police officer while holding up her fingers like a child to show her age, scenes that viewers find hilariously offbeat. What's remarkable about this phenomenon is how it represents a uniquely modern form of audience backlash. Instead of just leaving bad reviews or boycotting the film, viewers have turned to artificial intelligence to convert Ziegler's performance into a running joke. The creativity and speed with which internet culture has rallied around this ridicule are striking. This entire situation also sheds light on the changing dynamics between celebrities, their political expressions, and their audiences. In the past, stars could make political statements with little to no impact on their careers. But in today's deeply polarized climate, when a lead actress in a family film makes strong political declarations and outright tells a large segment of the audience she doesn't need their support, the financial consequences can be swift and severe. Disney's marketing team likely found themselves in an impossible position after Ziegler's controversial comments. How do you promote a $300 million film when your lead actress may have alienated a significant portion of your target audience before the movie even hits theaters? Industry observers are now pointing to this as a textbook case of how not to manage pre-release publicity for a major studio film. The Snow White remake was already facing an uphill battle before the controversy. Disney's ongoing strategy of remaking animated classics into live-action films has been producing diminishing returns in recent years. Audiences have become increasingly critical of these adaptations, questioning both their artistic merit and their necessity. This particular project drew early criticism when Ziegler suggested the original story would be significantly reimagined to fit modern values, a move that alienated some fans of the classic. What must be especially troubling for Disney executives is the film's current box office performance. It has slipped to 11th place and is now being outperformed by much smaller budget religious films. This isn't just a financial loss, it could represent a cultural shift in what audiences are choosing to support with their entertainment dollars. For Rachel Ziegler, the fallout could have lasting effects. Hollywood is notoriously risk-averse, and being associated with a high-profile flop can be a serious career setback, especially for rising stars. While established A-listers can often bounce back from box office failures, newer actors like Ziegler typically have less leeway. The paparazzi photos of Ziegler in casual, somewhat disheveled attire, though normal for any off-duty celebrity, are being used to reinforce a negative narrative. The cruel online commentary suggesting she looks homeless is clearly mean-spirited, but it reflects just how thoroughly some internet communities are reveling in her professional troubles. Financial analysts are now openly speculating about how this failure might affect Disney's overall live-action strategy. The studio has heavily banked on these remakes, seeing them as safer investments than original projects. But if even one of Disney's most iconic franchises can't draw a crowd, it may be time for a serious strategic revaluation. From a broader cultural perspective, this could mark a turning point in how audiences respond to politicized entertainment and the expectations they place on public figures. This controversy underscores how the entertainment landscape is becoming increasingly divided along political lines. When actors make strong political statements, they are discovering that audiences are responding not just to their on-screen performances but to their off-screen personas and beliefs as well. The timing of Snow White's release, just after the 2024 presidential election, made Rachel Ziegler's pre-election comments especially relevant. With Trump's victory, some commentators are framing the film's failure as part of a broader cultural rejection of certain political perspectives within entertainment. For Disney, which has already faced political backlash from both sides in recent years, the Snow White debacle adds yet another chapter to the ongoing challenge of navigating America's cultural divides while trying to market family-friendly content to a mass audience. The key question now is whether the company will adjust its marketing strategies, or even its approach to talent management, to avoid similar pitfalls in the future. Fueling this story further is the role of social media, which has become a primary battleground for these cultural and political skirmishes. AI-generated parodies mocking Ziegler have gone viral across platforms like Taika, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Each new parody tries to top the last in absurdity, creating a self-sustaining cycle of ridicule. What's fascinating about this trend is that it represents a new form of audience critique. Instead of just leaving negative reviews or venting in forums, dissatisfied viewers are using creativity and technology to transform the film into a running joke. These AI parodies are both entertainment and social commentary, an entirely different mode of expressing disapproval that goes beyond traditional criticism. In light of this, some industry insiders are now questioning whether studios should implement stricter social media guidelines for actors during promotional periods. The traditional Hollywood publicity system was designed to carefully curate a star's public image. But in today's social media-driven world, actors can reach millions of followers directly, without any studio oversight, introducing unpredictable risks into marketing campaigns that often cost hundreds of millions of dollars. The economic implications for Disney extend far beyond just this single film. Snow White was meant to be another high-profile entry in the studio's live-action remake strategy, a strategy that now faces serious scrutiny. The Snow White remake was supposed to be a cornerstone in Disney's ongoing strategy of capitalizing on its vast library of intellectual property through live-action adaptations. Earlier successes like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King had proven that this approach could be massively profitable. However, the declining returns of more recent projects suggest that audience fatigue with the formula may be setting in. Disney shareholders are likely growing concerned about what this high-profile failure means for the company's content strategy moving forward. With production budgets often exceeding $250 million for these tentpole films, even a small handful of box office flops can significantly affect quarterly earnings. Some financial analysts are already speculating that Disney may need to rethink its approach, whether that means scaling down budgets, being more selective with remakes, or taking greater care in casting choices. For Rachel Ziegler, this experience represents a tough lesson in the harsh realities of modern celebrity. As a relatively new face in Hollywood, initially rising to fame through her lead role in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, Snow White was intended to be her breakout into A-list territory. Instead, it's turned into a career setback that will require very careful management to recover from. The timing couldn't be worse for Disney, either. The company has already been grappling with several major challenges: struggles with streaming profitability, fluctuating theme park attendance in the post-pandemic world, and increased competition in the children's entertainment space. Now, the failure of Snow White adds yet another complication to an already delicate business environment. What may be most revealing about this entire situation is how it reflects broader cultural tensions in America. Entertainment was once considered neutral ground, a space where people of all political backgrounds could come together. But increasingly, even fairy tale adaptations have become flashpoints in the ongoing culture wars. And the backlash surrounding this film hasn't been limited to Ziegler's performance. Online critics and commentators have taken aim at nearly every aspect of the movie. Criticism of the film has extended beyond Rachel Ziegler's performance to include everything from costume design to the reimagined storyline, suggesting that Disney's attempt to modernize this classic tale may have missed the mark with a sizable portion of the audience. Looking ahead, industry insiders are closely watching how Disney will respond to this setback. Will the studio pivot by choosing less politically outspoken leads for future projects? Will they implement more rigorous media training for actors? Or will Disney stay the course, treating Snow White as an isolated misstep rather than a sign of deeper strategic issues? For audiences, this controversy raises larger questions about the relationship between art and politics and between celebrities and fans. In an era of deep polarization, can films still act as shared cultural moments? Or are we entering a media landscape where content is increasingly consumed along ideological lines? What's clear is that the boundaries between entertainment, politics, and social media are more blurred than ever. When a lead actress tells a portion of the audience she doesn't need their support, those viewers may take her at her word and take their money elsewhere. The financial consequences of that choice appear very real, regardless of where one stands politically. Ultimately, the Snow White controversy is likely to become a case study in film schools and entertainment marketing programs, a cautionary tale about how a major studio release can be derailed by off-screen factors that have little to do with the movie's actual quality and everything to do with the volatile mix of celebrity politics and public perception in the age of social media. For now, Disney will have to absorb the financial blow and take stock of what lessons can be learnt. As for Rachel Ziegler, her future in Hollywood remains uncertain. Meanwhile, the internet continues doing what it does best, turning controversy into content.